let me go to flipkart.com. Okay, so there are certain operations we will perform, like click is one operation, but on certain elements you will just mouse hover on that. You are not going to click on these things, you are mouse hovering on these things. When you mouse hover on these particular elements, right, so then you are going to get the list of or the list belongs to that category, and then if you mouse hover on some other element, the third level list might also come. This is the first level, and then there will be a second level. In the sense, these are called menu items. So in any application, if you have these kind of menu items or these kind of mouse hover handling, then we need to check whether we will be able to click on these particular elements or not. For example, so I want to click on remote control toys. So I will take the the X path of that. Okay, this is for remote control toys. I will take this X path and I will try to click on that particular remote control toys. Whether I will be able to click on that or not is the first question. So menu handling is the class name I am going to give. I have to extend the base class. Right, so base class dot init driver, flipkart.com. So once I do that, right, so then the next thing is, see, since I have a menu item here and then I have this link here. So what I will do, I will try to find out that X path and then I will try to click on that particular link. So whether I will be able to click on that particular link or not is the question. So by X path, okay, I am writing that X path here, dot click. Sorry, dot click. Okay, so let me run this and let us see whether it will click on that particular element or not. So I'm waiting for some time. Let me check out my code. It will give me an error like element not visible exception. It is not no such element exception, right? Element is present in the page but it is not visible. In the sense, when you hover on these particular menu items, then only these particular items will be rendered. Okay, so these items are hidden. Okay, they are not visible in the page, right? So when you hover, they are visible, and then you are going to click on these particular items, correct? So manually how you will work, you will not directly go and click on these things, right? So when you hover on these particular items will be visible. So for these kind of invisible items, you cannot directly take the X path and click on them. So there is one class called actions class. Okay, you need to create an object of actions class and then you need to work on those particular elements. So let me go here. This is the actions class. Okay, so this actions class will there are many things. Okay, it will accept keyboard input also. I will show you that in some time, and keyboard and mouse, everything. Okay, this is deprecated. Even, oh, they have deprecated this also. Anyway, keyboard interactions they have deprecated. Yeah, earlier what we used to do is you can pass F5 as the keyboard dot or keys dot F5. It used to do that, but now it is deprecated, so there is no point in using that. It accepts a WebDriver interface. Actions class will accept a WebDriver interface in its constructor, and it has different methods, right? For example, you can see here a move to element. Okay, this is the first method we are going to learn, and there are many other methods, so we will see them later. Move to element, and then if you want to pass of the offset of the particular element, you can pass it. In the sense, first you need to identify what is the offset of that particular element, in the sense x and y coordinates of that particular element, and you can pass this. But not frequently will be used. They have given an option. In some rare scenarios you should be able to use this ridden method or overloaded method. So it accepts web element as the target. Okay, so what is this move to element will do? If I click on that, okay, moves the mouse to the middle of the element. The element is scrolled into view and its location is calculated using the get bounding client rect. Okay, so there is some method, the get bounding client rectangular or something. Based on that, it is going to move that entire cursor, or you can consider it moves the mouse to that particular element, middle of the element. And what it will return? Okay, move to element will return the object of actions. Okay, the object of actions. So let us see how exactly we are going to work on that. Right, so since it is returning the object of actions class, I have to create, okay, before this command only, before clicking on that, I have to create an object. Actions A is equal to new actions, and it accepts driver as the argument, or in this constructor it accepts the driver. So let me import the actions. You can see here it has put under a package org openqa selenium interactions. Okay, it is keyboard and mouse interactions will be performed using the class called actions. Right, so actions A is equal to new actions, and it accepts the driver. Now the main important thing is I will be using that object A dot move to element. Okay, so I will use move to element, and you need to pass the web element, to which element the control should move, or to which element the mouse should be moving. Okay, so what I will do, first thing you need to do is, in our manual, or you consider you are doing manual testing, if you want to click on remote control toys, first you will mouse hover on baby and kids. Is it correct? You are mouse hovering on baby and kids, correct? Is it right? Am I right, guys? You are understanding this actions class, right? Yeah, so first I'm mouse hovering on baby and kids. You can take X path, or this baby and kids, if it has an anchor tag with class, you can use that also, or it has a title baby and kids. You generate your own X path and do that. Right, so I will take this X path only. So what I will do, I will write web element, okay, that is main menu is equal to driver dot find element by dot X path. I will put this X path. Okay, so that is the main element, and then once you move to the main element, you need to move to the main menu element. So this move to element method accepts web element, so I am going to pass that element, that is main menu element. Okay, so first I am hovering on this. To hover on this, I have a method move to element. So move to element will move my mouse to the center of that particular web element, and then you cannot simply move to element, and you cannot simply keep it like this. If you do this, it will not actually move to the element. So let me show you. So if I move to this particular element, this entire list should be displayed. Whether it will display or not, we will run that and check, because this is very important. Everywhere you go for the interviews, this is the uh, question they are going to ask. So I am uh, just explaining each and everything by giving some example why it will not work, why it will work. So you can see here, so it's loading flipkart.com, and then I have given move to element. So ideally it should move to the element, right? And that entire list should be displayed, but it is not moving and it is not giving me any error also. It's not moving and it's not giving me any error also, right? So this is one action I am performing on an element. Move to element is one action I am performing on an element. So to complete that action, okay, I have to use two methods. One is build, another one is perform. So until and unless you complete the entire action with perform method, it will not complete this particular action. Move to element will not be completed. So what is this build, what is this perform? So let us see that. So we have two methods here in this action class. One is build and one is perform. You can see build, it generates a composite action containing all actions so far. In the sense, this is one action, move to element. Similarly, I can have multiple actions like that. So for the time being, I will not use this. I will use directly perform. So I will show you the composite actions. That time I will use build, and then we will see that it's a set of one or more mouse handling actions. I can move to element, and then I can click on the element, or I can click on some other, double click on the element. I can drag and drop that particular element, something I can do. So you can combine all these different actions into one action, and then you can build. That means everything will be put together. That operation will be done by the build. But since we have only one action which we are performing, we don't have to build it, we can directly perform. Means a dot move to element, and which element I am moving, and then perform. So what this perform will do? So this perform a convenience method for performing the actions without calling build first. Okay, in the sense, it will not call the build directly, it will perform this particular action. So I always suggest you to use build, okay, if you have composite actions, but you can directly use perform if you have single action. So now if I go here and if I run this program, it will hover the mouse on that particular main menu element, and then the list will be displayed. Once the page loads, it waits until the page load completes, and it is taking my mouse, or actual mouse will not be taken there, right? Actual mouse will be here, but in its control the mouse handling will go on top of this element, or go in the middle of this particular element. So now we have achieved the first step of displaying this entire list. The next step is, once this entire list is displayed, I have to click on this particular element. So how will I click on that particular element? I will take, okay, let me take it from here. I will take the X path of remote control toys, and then I will click on that. So once it is hovered, you can move anywhere. Your mouse can be moved anywhere, or you can directly click on this element, because it is already visible. This element is visible. That's why you can directly click on this particular element. So what I will do, I will directly add driver dot find element by dot xpath dot click. Right? Once I do this, I will be able to click on this particular remote control toys. So let me run this again. So it's loading that, and then once the page loads, it mouse hovers on that and then it clicks on remote control toys. So click on remote control toys. It's not clicking. Let me see. Getting some error. Element is not currently visible. So may not be interested with which element it is. Right. So the element is visible, right? So once that is done, let me add some sleep time. And then I will be clicking on that. Let me run this again. Yeah. So immediately at a time it is trying to mouse hover, and immediately within fraction of second it was trying to click on that element. So it was not waiting until the entire list loads. That's why it was giving me that error. So I am adding some wait time. So in these scenarios, what we can do is, right, what we can do is, there are I am adding thread dot sleep here. Instead of adding thread dot sleep, I can add one global wait time. Okay, so that is called implicit wait. So I will explain that implicit wait. So driver dot, okay, manage dot timeout dot implicitly wait. Okay, so what is the wait time I'm going to use? I will be using 5 seconds. Okay, time units dot seconds. In the sense, this is the time unit is a class, right? So Java util concurrent, it's a Java library class. I can specify whether it will be waiting in seconds or whether it will be waiting in minutes and other things. I am using this method. So what this implicit wait will do is the very important thing. So in this scenario, what I will do is, I have a class called timeouts, right? So similar to my uh, let me go to WebDriver first. So my WebDriver dot manage, so it will give me WebDriver options, right? So similarly, I will go to WebDriver options. I have, right, timeouts. I will go to the timeouts interface. So this timeouts interface is also a nested interface of WebDriver, which has implicitly wait. Okay, specifies the amount of time the driver should wait when searching for an element if it is not immediately present. Okay, if I am trying to perform any operation, okay, here you can see, here in each and every step, okay, if the element is not present, it will wait for 5 seconds. It is a global wait time kind of thing I am adding. So at that time I don't have to add this one. So if the element is not present, it will wait for 5 seconds, okay, and then it will give me an error if it is not able to get that element after 5 seconds, but it will wait for 5 seconds before performing this operation. If it finds the element within 5 seconds, or if it finds the element, then it will not wait for 5 seconds. If the element is not present, first thing it will, whenever we perform some step or some action, first thing it will do is it will check whether element is present or not, right? So this is implicit wait. Sometimes implicit wait will also fail. That time we have explicit wait. We will see that after some time. So let me run this entire program and check whether it works or not, because I have added global wait time. So every time you try to perform some operation, you should wait for 5 seconds until the element present, and then you can click on that. See, it is wait, it has found that immediately. That's why it has clicked on that. But at the first instance, it was failing. Okay. So that's how we can use implicit wait. Means this is the global wait time. You can note it down as global wait time, which will wait for each and every operation or each and every statement which it executes. So first time it will try to identify the element. If the element is not present, it will wait up to 5 seconds.